Hey there, it's Wendy. I'm so excited you're here with me today. We are going to be making a card with the Let It Ride stamp set and Stampin' Blends. And I'm actually going to attempt drawing a scene. Now, I have to admit, not my best work, not my best card I've ever made. In fact, almost considered not showing it to you guys because I thought, ugh, this is kind of, I don't know. But then I thought, you know what? No, I'm gonna show it because honestly, like, I feel like it shows that everybody's a progression. We all progress, right? None of us start out like knowing how to do all the things and be all the things. So I'm just showing here kind of how I have progressed. I mean, I couldn't have even done this. This is pretty amateur. It's not very good, but I totally could not have even done this a year ago. So my goal here was to make it look like these two horses are out in the wild, kind of like in a pasture somewhere in beautiful green grass near a lake. And my inspiration for the lake was actually Lake Tahoe. So I live in Northern California, and so I'm only about 2 hours from Lake Tahoe, and the water there is pretty much like unlike any water I've ever seen. The way the lake looks, it goes from these incredible blues to greens, and I definitely did not capture it in this, but I tried. So that's why it's such a really clear blue looking lake, is I wanted it to kind of have that feel because there's also pine trees in this scene. So you can see that I'm darkening certain areas. So I do know this much. I know that when you want to create depth, you add darkness. Or if you want something to fall into the background. So I knew that I wanted that hill or that mountain to fall into the background, and I knew I wanted the edge of the lake to look like it had some depth to it, so I knew I needed some darker color there. As you'll see, I continue to progress here using the dark balmy blue on top of the pool party, and I'm just trying to create more and more depth in that lake or on that edge. And then on the hills, on the grass, I'm really trying to create some depth with the darker Granny Apple Green. So I've got darker Granny Apple Green, and then I've got light Granny Apple Green. And then I realize it's just not enough. So I go in with the old olive right there at the edge of that very back hill. And you can see that that did work. It did drop that hill into the background a little bit more. So part of it is I'm just a little bit fearful of adding too much color, which is pretty common. It's a pretty common thing for people to be afraid to get things too dark, because you can always go darker, but it's really hard to go lighter, right? So I kind of freaked out and thought, okay, better not do any more, because if I keep this up, I might have a mess on my hands. So I stamped some trees there in the hill, and then I wanted to stamp some trees in the foreground. No, background. But I wanted to also add some of my own trees. So I'm just making little lines and then little kind of dashes going off the edge, so it looks like there's more trees back there. And then again, I went in and darkened up this lake area to give it even more depth and shadow, and I think that that helped as well. Again, not a professional artist. I literally am learning as I'm making cards, and so with each card comes a little bit more knowledge, and I feel like I get a little bit better each time. And I wanted to show you guys this because I wanted you to see, and here I'm trying to figure out what to do next. I'm literally like pausing, like, what do I do? So then I was like, darker. It needs to be darker right here. So I started adding some little grassy area and trying to add some more depth. And then I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I started coloring my horses. This card is being made for Allie, who is turning 17, and she is my husband's cousin. She is, oh, and this is the new Seaside Spray. Isn't it gorgeous, darling? It's gorgeous. Which, by the way, it's worth repeating. that you'll be able to purchase that when? Not June 3rd, but June 4th. June 4th. Since I've said in a bunch of videos that the catalog goes live June 3rd, I now need to say in a bunch of videos I was wrong, and it's June 4th. I'm using the Perennial birthday stamp set for this birthday sentiment, and I just stamped it in Memento Tuxedo black ink, and then I'm trimming it down to the size that I want it. So I am making this for her. She's turning 17, really good kid, just real solid. She's part of FFA, which is Future Farmers of America, and she is in high school doing really good, and she rides horses. She shows them, actually. Remember, I've told you before that I live in a community of horsey people, and I meant it. There's lots of horsey people around these parts. So the placement that I have this sentiment right now is where I should have put it. But I actually changed it and moved it when I went and put the whole card together, which was stupid because I like the placement of it right there. By the way, the pens that I used to do the drawing for the hills and the lake are Copic pens. I forget what they're called, but I'll link to them in the description below the video. You can get them on Amazon, and you need to use those if you're going to be coloring with your alcohol markers, because if you use a water-based ink, it will cause problems. So you need to make sure you're using a alcohol safe ink with your pens if you're going to draw and then color. This is Granny Apple Green cardstock. It's cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I'm going to layer it down onto the card base, and then the actual drawing that I did is on a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White cardstock. Just using Snell adhesive to put all this together, and then I'll add the sentiment. So we went over to Allie's house, well, her parents' house, for some cake and ice cream, and I took this card and I stuck 25 bucks in it for her birthday and called it good, because y'all, 17-year-olds, let me just fill you in. If you have any in your life and you're like, oh, let me go shopping for them, just please don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Just give these people cash. That's all they want. They just want cash. Cold, hard, stinking cash. And you ask why? Why would they want that instead of a gift? Unless they specifically said, I want XYZ as a gift, please do not try to guess and give them something. Just give them money, because they're broke, they're teenagers, and they have things they want to buy and things they want to do. So like, I figured, you know, that 25 bucks I gave her will probably give her a little bit of cash to have in her pocket for her horse shows this weekend, if she needs to get something at the snack bar, or give her some gas money to throw in her car, some gas in her car. Maybe her and her boyfriend can go out and have pizza. I don't know. The bottom line is cash. See how high up I put this? I wish I would have put it lower. Dang it. Anyways, she loved it. She thought the card was fun, and she liked the cash probably even better. Could care less about the card, probably. Just saying. All right, there it is. Finished. It's not horrible, but it's not the grandest. I'm going to keep working at it, and so should you. Keep working at what you love. All right, click on either one of the videos to watch them. Click the circle with my face in it to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and comment below and tell me what you would give a 17-year-old. Talk to you later. Bye.